Hey guys, what is happening? This is the first race of the 2019 race season. Battle Creek, Michigan Sprint Enduro.
There, Dave, I got you on video.
Dave wanted me to get him on video. He wanted me to get him passing me, but he started ahead of me in every test today. So this is the first test, the cross test. First of the day, first time on a motocross track with a new bike. I have not ridden anything at speed on this bike at all, and I am going for it on the first lap. First jump there, cleared it no problem. Suspension is definitely soft. Yeah, definitely overjumped that. That was too big of balls, not enough brains for sure. Suspension completely untested for me on a motocross track. Yeah, I wasn't used to the bike. I was riding that jump like I ride the two-stroke, and it seems to be a little faster. I had way too much speed, flat bottomed that pretty hard. Luckily, I was able to keep going. The bike is all in one piece. I am all in one piece for the most part. I am definitely bruised up pretty bad today. Every part of me hurts, but we made it through. We survived. So
this thing can definitely hit a jump.
Yes, it can. It can hit a jump. So my camera obviously got screwed up that first lap around. I did fix it, but I had missed a few turns before I finally figured out that it was pointing down at my chest. So this is the second attempt, and I was a little bit more cautious, for sure. Once again, you know, we kind of jumped right into this, so you guys don't know the spiel. So this is April 6th, 2019, the first round of the Kenda Michigan Sprint Enduro Series. Both round 1 and round 2 are right here at Battle Creek. Round 2 is actually running today on the 7th. I definitely did not race the second day. I barely got out of bed this morning, and I really wasn't planning on racing the second day anyways. I'm too old and out of shape right now to put my body through this kind of abuse 2 days in a row. But we gave it hell today, and I had a good time. The bike is not set up the way that I want it. Between the first test and this being the second cross test, I did make some clicker adjustments, gave it a whole lot more compression. It was really soft. I was very uncomfortable both on the motocross track and the woods. And throughout the day, I did get it a little bit better. The suspension is definitely too soft. I'm 220 pounds. On a good day, right now I'm probably 225. And so yeah, I don't know. The bike has stickers on it from Milan shocks or Milan suspensions, whatever. I don't think that there was any work that was actually done to this bike for the suspension. I think it's totally stock. So, you know, we all know that stock bike is generally set up for a 150 to 160 pound rider. So yeah, I got definitely some weight on this suspension that it doesn't need. But I was out here trying, and yeah, the bike ran great. This thing's got a ton of power. Got traction everywhere. The wood sections, the motocross section, the dirt was really good all the way through. this test I really had fun on, even though, you know, Battle Creek and I seem to have kind of a love-hate relationship. I love this track. It's really, really fun, but if you guys have watched my videos through the last couple years, seems like every time I come to Battle Creek, something really bad happens. Not that I'm not usually able to finish, but whether it's falling off that log bridge or, you know, busting my elbow in a corner, you know, it seems to always be something here. So as good as this track is, as much as I love coming here, it always seems to bite me. So, you know, I should probably come out a little bit more timid with this track, but I never do. But yeah, this dirt back here, you know, you can see the dirt on the motocross track, like I said, this test here was really pretty good. But there were some sections that are just kind of greasy, you know. It's more clay than sand in the woods area, and with a bunch of leaves and stuff on the ground, it's just kind of oily and greasy. You know, nothing too bad. Actually, the dirt was pretty perfect. But the enduro test, you'll see, I was a whole lot more timid with it. And like I said, the bike is not set up the way that I want. I did order a Recluse clutch for it. It was supposed to be here on the 5th, and they didn't get it sent out in time, so it actually showed up at my house while I was racing yesterday. So for the first hare scramble race, I will have a Recluse on here. Again, I didn't have a lot of problems, but I stalled the bike. You know, I'm not 100% sure, but I would say that all but maybe the last enduro test, I stalled the bike at least twice during each test. So, and it wasn't because of anything I was really doing wrong. I just didn't really get the RPMs up high enough, or I grabbed the clutch too late. You know, things that when you're used to riding with a Recluse, you don't even think about because it's just not even on your mind. So, you know, with that said, there's definitely some room for improvement. But I raced the 201cc to 250cc C-Class 30 plus today, and there were 18 people in my specific class. I finished 10th. So to finish roughly mid-pack, especially after that massive flat bottom jump on the very first lap, you know, I can't really be too upset about it. I am definitely still a C rider, so it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, looking back at the videos, I felt like I was riding much slower than I really was. So there's definitely room to go faster. Once I start getting more comfortable on this bike, I will be faster. But again, this race was really all just about feeling this bike out, because about a month ago I was supposed to be down at the Bloomfield Holler race down in Bloomfield, Indiana. That was supposed to be my trial run on this bike, and I was not able to make it. So, well, they canceled it for the weekend that it was supposed to be and rescheduled it for the following weekend, and at that point I was not able to make it. So this is the first time out on a track at speed, and yeah, it felt okay. All in all, like I said, the bike performed well. I was really happy that after that massive flat bottom, I did not have any bent wheels or cracked hubs, and the bike is all in one piece. I honestly have no idea how, because that was a really hard hit. But yeah, all in all, it was a pretty good day. I was considering leaving after the second round, just because the Sprint Enduro series this year, I am not planning on running for points. I'm not going to race both series, and I still want to focus more on the Hare Scramble series. But I will say that Logan has done a fantastic job. For those of you who don't know, Logan Densmore is the guy that has really done all the work for this series, and you know, I'm pretty excited to be able to say that I did run the very first one, and since then this series has grown massively. Obviously this race we had a much bigger turnout. This was an ISD qualifier, so I mean there was people from as far as California in the US, there was people from out of the country. There was 298 riders, so each going at a 15-second interval. You know, it takes a lot of time. So yeah, we were supposed to get started at noon. I think we got started somewhere around 1, and yeah, we didn't get finished until after 6 o'clock. So it was a long day, but it was fun. They are using a new transponder system that they were working some of the bugs out of for sure. There were several people saying that they weren't getting counted. It's scored through live laps, so it's kind of cool because it's a live interactive scoring system. So you can check your progress after every test if it's scoring you. So yeah, it's a good system. I like it. After the second round, it showed me in 3rd place. So as much pain as I was in, my back was starting to lock up. Oh yeah, there you go. Need to get that recluse in. But yeah, after round 2, like I said, I was talking about leaving because my back was starting to seize up after that. You know, just everything started getting tight after that big hit. And I figured, you know what, if I'm in 3rd place, I kind of have to stick around because I want to try and get a trophy if I can. You know, I'm not gonna not take one. So these sections here, you know, we were told we were supposed to idle through there in 1st gear. That was the fastest we were supposed to go. By the end of the day, everybody was definitely going faster through there than they were supposed to, but I don't think they really docked anybody any time. They had said that if you were going any faster than 1st gear idle speed, then you'd get docked 30 seconds and blah blah blah. So anyway, that's why when we go through that section it's so slow. But yeah, this is the Enduro test, and yeah, I was in 3rd position going into the 3rd round, and so I stuck it out. Well, there evidently were several people that did not get scored, so they were having to manually enter times because, as you saw, they're going through that scoring block, both coming in and leaving. There's people writing down our numbers just in case, you know, and thank goodness they were, because manual scoring was definitely needed today. But right here, every time I can make it over those tires no problem, but every time I'd stall it out. But yeah, anyway, after everything was said and done, when I left yesterday, it said that the results said that I was in 8th place. And by the time I went to bed last night, I checked and I was back in 10th. So 10th out of 18, like I said, I can't really complain about that. I should have fast forwarded this. So this bike does not like to start right back up
You got it.
when you stall it. Okay, sorry about that. A little bit irritated. So this part here, I want to say this was my first time through this section. My fastest time was actually the third round, but my camera had died by that point because not knowing which, how fast we were going to get through the line of people, I turned my camera on, and at least on the first test, I had like 47 minutes of just us sitting there talking, whatever. So that was a big waste of file storage and battery life. But yeah, so this is the Enduro test, and I got through that section finally after getting it restarted. And on the second lap, I did the exact same thing over the tires, and then I got up into the tractor tires that were laying on their side and got pinched in between one of the tires and a log, and ended up stalling it again and tipping over. So this section was rough. You know, if you guys know Battle Creek, it's generally a pretty open track. It doesn't get really tight, but for this series, you know, they gave us a whole lot of new trails for today. And like I said, once we got deeper into the woods, like the cross test, didn't go quite as deep into the woods, and so it stayed a little bit drier. It wasn't quite as greasy. And back in here, it was definitely a little bit greasy. Now, keep in mind, you know, this is after I flat bottomed and everything, and I'm riding a bike with a clutch that I'm not used to. I can't wait to get that recluse clutch on here to keep it from stalling. But on top of that, you know, I don't have my left-hand rear brake on this bike either. Obviously, with having to use the clutch, I can't do both at the same time. But what I've really noticed is with that left-hand rear brake kit, you have so much more control over how hard you're applying the rear brakes. So using my foot, you know, I barely tap the foot peg, and the back end is just totally locked up. And on this greasy stuff, the back end was wanting to slide out, so it was not a comfortable feeling for me. So once I get this bike all set up, I'll be feeling a whole lot better. But this section definitely got a lot more tore up than this after seeing me go over that little log jump over the ravine out of the Enduro section. This is definitely the first lap. The rest of the other two tests, I went to the right. It was a little bit more forgiving. When we run the Enduro section in the opposite direction, I prefer the line that I took on this lap. But those logs coming up the top of the hill are a really blunt face when you're going in this direction. So for the hare scrambles, if we're running it, you know, in the direction or in the opposite direction, then I will definitely take the right line. That little jump over that ravine isn't bad. You just got to carry enough speed to hit it, and there's no kick to it or anything. It's pretty easy. Of course, if you know, freeze up right before you hit it and hit the brakes or something silly, then you will end up in that pit, and it is deep. So that would not be recommended. But yeah, for going in this direction, I think that the right line is a little bit better. It does take a couple seconds longer it's a little bit longer route, but it is definitely more forgiving. It's easier to get over the logs that are on the face of the hill. So, yeah, honestly, I don't really have a whole lot more to say. Again, thanks to Logan for all the hard work. He's brought in a lot of really good sponsors, you know, Kenda, Rocky Mountain Race Gas, 100% FMF, Kenda obviously. Yeah, I don't even know, I might have said Kenda twice. But yeah, he's really brought in a lot of good sponsors for this, and the results and the turnouts are proving that. I mean, as far as the hare scrambles are concerned, I'm going, you know, thinking to myself, why aren't we hooked up with Rocky Mountain Race Cash for the hare scrambles? Because, you know, it'd be nice to recoup a little bit of money, and like that's money that I will spend. You know, I buy probably 80% of my stuff from Rocky Mountain. Things that I like to buy regularly, like oil and stuff, I generally buy from my local shop, which is Fox Motorsports. But to be perfectly honest, I went in there just the other day to buy some more oil, and they quit carrying I like to run the Spectral Golden 4T on this bike, and they quit selling it. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like they're slimming down their selection of product, I guess. They've got a huge selection of riding gear. So if you guys are looking for gear, definitely go check out Fox. And I mean, they've got a huge selection of bikes too. But yeah, their products, it seems like they're kind of narrowing down, maybe to save space, I don't know, but looks like I'm gonna have to find a different place to get my oil and stuff from. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and quit talking now. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and we will see you guys, I think it's the 28th of this month is the round 1 hare scramble. So yeah, I hope to see everybody there, and I look forward to it. Thanks for watching.